Hey guys, how's everybody doing?
Good evening, everybody.
Rogue Nation here with you guys. We got a great story here tonight. We're trying to get the gentleman into the chat with us. He's having some technical difficulties. So
what's up, y'all?
Hey, Wrights, how you doing?
Good to see you guys. You said we're waiting on somebody. They're having technical difficulties.
Yeah, Robert's having some technical difficulties logging in. So I'm hoping to hear back from him sooner. I'm hoping he's logging in yet.
Hey, I got to see.
Hey, Noli.
I got to see some of the public records that News Now South Florida pulled. It's pretty funny.
Hey, Lion One. Oh, I know. I saw it too.
I can't see the chat, but hello to everyone. Welcome. Thanks for being here. I'll be able to see the chat in a minute.
GA, Leslie, Piner, New Smyrna Times, YouTube watcher.
Oh, New Smyrna. I saw you.
Save the Humans.
You sent an email, but I haven't read it yet. Sorry.
I tried to name off as many names that are saying hello as quick as I could for everybody.
How many people we got in here?
It says 17, but I'm not sure if that's correct or not. But yes.
You guys hear me okay? I got a new headset.
Yeah. Actually sounds a lot clearer and better than the other ones.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Find that disappointing because I don't like these.
No,
it's too tight.
See, I find that disappointing because it sounds better than the other one. Stretch it out.
That's what she said.
Which Madison did we need to see? Daytona. He's in Daytona. Yes. About the block parties that are going on there tonight, I think it is. Tonight? Yeah.
Which reminds me, great job again. Last night, your coverage on Eyes on the State channel of everything that was going on. That was,
thank you.
Professional.
Thank you.
All right. I just texted him again, so hopefully we can get him in here. If not, I'll go ahead with the story. Robert definitely has the majority of the information. He's been working on the story for quite a while. He contacted me last summer when I was driving through Mid-Atlantic there on vacation with the family, and we've been talking about ever since this case and digging up police reports and doing that kind of stuff. He's been really thorough. This is a really interesting story. It's again, it's, I guess, heartbreaking, you might say, for the people involved because of the it wasn't a death or anything, but there was medical bills and I'm sure lost wages and all different kinds of stuff. I think the young lady had a hard time walking again, if she even could walk again. So it's a real humdinger of a story. So we'll give them just a couple of more minutes to get in here. So if you guys have any thing in the chat you want to talk about real quick before we see if we can get him in here.
We should probably talk some about what we saw last night on the simultaneous live streams that we were watching till he gets in here, because that'll give us something to talk about that is just happened.
Right. Go ahead, brother.
Last night there were simultaneous protests and riots in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Memphis, Tennessee, Charlotte, North Carolina, and Los Angeles, California. and I got streams running from almost every city. The only one that I couldn't find last night was one from Charlotte. So I brought all the streams in together about what was going on. There was a guy that was run over by a
You had the streams going, but you also had the police scanner going too,
yes,
so you
for
could
some of
hear
it.
all the calls. Yeah,
That was until they shut it down in Minneapolis. They shut that scanner down.
yeah,
They-
because you could
they
hear
went
them
dark.
panicking, saying,
Mhm.
"Shoot him with riot gas." Say, "Can I deploy? Deploy! Deploy!" They were
Yeah,
panicking. Please, we're thinning out here. I don't know how much we could take. it
Yep.
was like a war zone, man.
it was. They brought the National
And-
Guard in there last night, and they surrounded that the precinct, the 12th precinct last night, while it burned down around them.
You had the scanner going, and I could hear the call for the fire. That James Madison also covered some of it, and he covered how that fire never got taken care of.
No, that was the one that he covered some of. That was one that was later in the evening. That was hours after the beginning one. The first fire that they set was a fire in an Advanced Auto Parts, and it was
Jeez.
right behind the precinct, I think, or right across the street from it. It was really close to the precinct, and they just let that one go too. They let Family Dollar go, an apartment complex, and a Metro PCS store, the Advanced Auto Parts store. I think 2 or 3 other buildings too, at least, that were like no named buildings they got also. It was bad last night. It was bad. I could swear without, I really thought that I actually viewed what I thought I viewed in the center screen. I can't remember exactly what time in the morning it was. I'll have to go back through and look at it now that I've had some rest and stuff. But I could swear that somebody got into a car, like an older 80s style type of a big old boat of a car, and drove it down the street and into the police line that they had stood up to stop people from going forward. I could swear I saw that last night. It was out of control in Minneapolis. Out of control.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that rioting and looting and stuff like that. People get crazy in those kind of situations, unfortunately. And
I see him, but I can't add him yet.
all right.
But I do see him.
Hopefully he's getting it put together the right way.
It did, Parker. You're very correct.
Is it letting you add him yet?
Nope.
Can you see my picture
Yep.
now? Change my
Mhm.
avatar.
Mm-hmm. Scared of the shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you guys, go to Johnny 50's channel later on and check out his announcement. He said,
Yeah, Parker. Wasn't that one big structure like a community housing or something that it was supposed to be? No, it's still giving me an error for him. I can't add him yet.
Yeah, I'm texting him right now. He says he can't do it. He's gonna either text me comments or I'm telling him to try to go in the live chat would be best.
Yeah, they do go nuts. Like they looted a Target, and people are focusing on that. Like, oh my God, please don't touch that precious corporation's merchandise.
They emptied a Target.
Right, right. But
They
Dr. King
emptied
said,
it.
Dr. King said, a riot is the language of the unheard.
Mm-hmm.
Something I saw last night that a lot of people could be like, "What the hell is this guy doing?" But he had an audience of like 100 people at least, and he got them all to take their phones out and register to vote. I don't want to pee in their cornflakes and tell them again that, that was decided 8 years ago at a Bilderberg meeting.
There was a pawn shop owner, I think, that shot somebody that was trying to loot his store there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think if it was nailed down, it stayed in the building.
The point is that not everybody looted that place. You know what I mean? It might have gotten cleaned out by a bunch of,
People
looters, but
Yep.
people were rioting because they're sick and tired of watching their friends and family get killed while people are pleading to them, stop killing them. They're like, no,
There was some dude walking
No.
down the street
I'm
with
going
a
to keep my knee
chainsaw.
right here. Somebody
What?
what?
Was walking down the street with a chainsaw.
Oh, yeah, I saw you kept pointing that out. That was
I
pretty great.
know it.
GA, the Gladiator.
How you doing, GA?
Cool. How you guys doing?
All right. Rested after
driving?
last night.
Yeah. I was very happy to see. I went outside about like 2:30 in the morning, and there was over 100 people in there. I was like, "That's what's up."
Yeah, I was pretty happy, I have to say.
It's awesome. Yeah, I was out driving on I-4 in this crap ass rain today.
It actually,
Yes. Cops comment on public servant. We were talking about the car running into the police.
I drove all the way out there yesterday for the launch that got scrubbed.
Yeah, what did you guys end up doing?
Just ate pollo tropical, which is the thing about pollo tropical is you got to be in a predominantly Latin neighborhood and go to that pollo tropical, because if you go to the one that they closed down here, you're gonna get Polo Tropical.
Exactly.
It was pollo tropical. It was delicious. I had the Tropi Chop. Yeah, we were gonna go to the Orlando Eye and decided just to head home. But I think they're going on tomorrow, right? Tomorrow at 3:30 or something like that.
I don't think so. I don't think they're going to have the launch this weekend at all. The weather doesn't look like it's going to let it happen. Yeah.
All right, guys. He's not going to be able to make it in, so I'm just going to do the story for him.
Right on.
And basically, I know the basics of it. He's a lot more knowledgeable on it than me, but I know the whole gist of the story. I've gone over the paperwork myself, so I'm fairly knowledgeable about it. He's going to text me any comments. He is watching the live stream. His name's Robert. He's from Wisconsin. He was a union worker for a long time, and then the union pulled some shady stuff on him, and he kind of woke up and started looking at the unions and how corrupt they were. And there was an incident down here in Florida that he comes back and forth from Florida to Wisconsin. He had a sister that lived down here that has since passed. She was killed in a hit and run, and we're going to be running that story as well. These are two stories that he wants to get out for everybody. to understand the corruption that's going on here. And this is a Lake County, Florida story. And basically, the story is about Megan Savage and a car ride home one night. And so basically, the story goes like this. Megan Savage was coming home from work one evening, and as she's driving down 441 here in Lake County, right around Mount Dora. Now, for those of you folks that have seen my videos, I have a video titled "Your Behavior is Not Normal," and it I don't know if you could pull that up real quick or not, Eyes.
I can sure try for you. Hang on a second. Keep going while you're doing that.
So in this video, "Your Behavior is Not Normal," there's an officer that confronts me. For those of you that have seen the video, and for those of you that will once I pulls it up, but there's an officer there named Andrew Rice, and he's the African American gentleman that steps in front of me and asks if I maybe I've hit my head, or if I know who the president is, and such as that. He's the investigating officer on the scene that night of this accident. You got that yet, Eyes, or do you need a little longer?
Give me just a minute more or so, because I can't find the video exactly. Actions,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, "Your Behavior is Not Normal." You should be able to just go to my video page and type it in the search. So Andrew Rice, the gentleman in my video, is one of the main actors in this. The other one, besides Megan Savage, is an officer named Kelly. I believe Mark Kelly's his name. We'll find out once we look at the police report, but his last name's Kelly. Okay, this is it. So fast forward just a little bit into it, about halfway through.
Here?
Now keep going a little bit. Oh, Stephen Kelly's the officer's name. Thank you, Robert.
This guy?
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Answer any questions you have.
That guy right there. That's Andrew Rice. That's the officer there that's going to be handling the police report for this accident. All right. Now, basically, again, what happened was, you can take that
I
down now.
remember that freaking guy.
Yeah. So basically what happened, Megan Savage driving home one night, and 441, it's a 2-lane roadway there in Lake County. It's a major highway, not a freeway, but just a highway through the state of Florida. And she's driving, I believe, in the left-hand lane. There's a gentleman driving to the right of her, slightly behind her in the right-hand lane. And as she's driving home this night, a car comes across the grass median. There's a grass median there on 441. Comes across the grass median and hits her head on. Now, the car that hit her head on was the off-duty police officer, Stephen Kelly. And, he was off-duty. He had been drinking. This is not in question. The Mount Dora Police Department did track him back to some establishments to where he was drinking at that night before the accident. And let's get into one of those police reports if we can, Eyes. See if we can do this up.
Which one do you want? Do you want the one that begins with the F or the C?
Let's go with the F one first. I'll have to look at both of them, but I mean, once we contrast them, once everybody gets to see both of them, they'll notice the same discrepancies. So just go with the falsified one first. See if we can make that a little bit bigger. We're going to go down to there you go. We're going to go down to the narrative part of the traffic report.
And that would be right there.
That's correct. Now I'm going to wait for a second till it pulls up here on my laptop so I can actually read it. Because I can't read it on my phone, which is what I'm actually
Y'all
doing
know
the stream on.
Damn, right?
So yeah, there's just a little lag between putting it up on my phone and it coming up on the desktop here. So once it comes up on the desktop, I'll start reading it off. For those of you at home, you can go ahead and start reading it now if you'd like.
Yeah, if you can't see it, tell me. I'll figure out a way to make it bigger for everybody.
If they're on a desktop, my desktop's looking good right now, but like I said, it's just a couple of minute lag, couple of second lag, I guess. It's still not up on my desktop yet.
10, I think it is, or maybe 15.
Yeah.
Do you guys copy? Hello? Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can hear you right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that other headset was giving me a headache.
Oh, hold on. Okay, it should be pulling up now. Okay, it says Vehicle 1.
I assume you're going to direct this.
Vehicle 1 was identified as a 2008 silver Mitsubishi. That was Megan Savage's vehicle. It says she was traveling west on Highway 441. Just past East Crooked Lake. And it says, according to 2 independent witnesses, Vehicle 1 crossed over the grassy median and struck the front of Vehicle number 2. It says Vehicle number 2 was identified as the white Hyundai, and that was being operated by Stephen Kelly, the off-duty police officer. It says Vehicle 2 was traveling east on US 441. Vehicle 2 was struck head-on by Vehicle number 1. Vehicle 3 was the guy that was driving Howard Pritchett, and it was traveling west on US 441. Driving. Now here's the part that's
weird, yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be incorrect, and you'll see it in the vehicle in both of the things. It says it was driving directly behind Vehicle number 2. Okay, so go on down a little bit further in the report there. Yeah, that should be good enough. Let's see what it says there on the bottom. I couldn't see it from where I'm at here. Okay, down at the bottom. It says that Andrew Rice called ORMC to check on Kelly's condition. Chaplain Steve stated Kelly was in critical but stable condition. Chaplain Steve stated Kelly would be moved to the intensive care unit later in the day. Now, and I don't know if it's in the bottom of this report or the other report, but in one of these reports, Andrew Rice talks about smelling alcohol coming off Stephen Kelly.
It says as there was some indication of the presence of alcohol.
Right. Now, obviously, it was a bad car wreck. Couldn't give him a breathalyzer. Couldn't give him a field test. Obviously, he was, taking the ORMC. I don't know, by chopper or whatever. But by Florida state statute, an accident like this, they're required to get a blood draw. Okay, now here in the bottom it says the case is considered active until a subpoena can be issued for Kelly and Savage's blood, as there was some indication of the presence of alcohol. No charges or citations have been filed, or issued at this time pending further investigation. All right, now I'll talk about that. Bring up the other report and bring it up to the narrative section on the other report, if you would, for me, eyes. Now, according to state statute, when an accident where bodily harm is done like this, and there's reasonable cause to believe that there is alcohol involved, then it is the duty of the responding, police department to secure a blood draw, to check to see if alcohol had anything to do with the accident. Now, they traced Stephen Kelly's actions that night back to two different bars, I believe. And, they went in there to find out how much he had to drink, whatever. But they could only tell you how much they had to drink that was actually put on a credit card. If he had paid cash for it, then there's no record of it. So on his credit card statements, it doesn't look like he had that much to drink. However, in the police report, and I don't know if it's this one or if it's the other one, or maybe it's another document we have, but there was no alcohol detected in Savage, nor did blood draws confirm any alcohol in Savage's system. I believe that's what Robert just said. I forgot where I was going there. Just
a question. Did they
About
not interview anybody
as many drinks
in the,
with cash? But go ahead.
Go ahead, GA.
Did they interview anybody in the establishments that may have served the cop?
I believe they did, but again, depending on how busy it was that night, I mean, they could have easily forgot he had one drink more than he said.
He could have been buying a drink for somebody else too on the credit card, just to play devil's advocate.
Right, and somebody else could have been buying him drinks as well.
True that.
So there's no way to really know, again, without a blood draw, how much alcohol. And Robert said yes, they did speak to the servers. So there's really no way to tell without that blood draw, which again we're required to get by Florida statute. Okay, so there's some obvious goodwill going on here between the Mount Dora Police Department on the part of Stephen Kelly. Okay, now here's the other report. It's already up. It's September 3rd. They responded to yada yada, crash with injuries and road blockage.
Stephen Kelly was taken by helicopter while what's his name?
Megan Savage.
Yeah.
And they apply for a warrant on these blood draws just like anything else, right? I know it says subpoena in the report, but isn't it pretty much just like a warrant?
Yeah, pretty much. And again, when there's an accident of this nature, we'll get to the photos, and you'll get to see what I'm talking about. I mean, one of the wheels was completely ripped off of Megan's car.
And they took her by ground.
Yeah, we also have an absolution letter. Yeah. And I wish I knew the extent of her injuries. Like I said, I knew she was either not able to walk for a long time, or I'm not even sure if she was able to recover that function. But go down a little bit further in the police report. Now these are all, the silver car jumped the grass and hit the white Honda. But when we get to the diagrams, you'll see a different story. No, don't go down to the diagrams yet. Hold on, I want to talk about the bottom. Yeah, right there. See, wait till it pulls up here on my screen. Should be just a second.
Oh, he was
Still
doing
waiting.
just 50 in a 50 mile per hour. He was right on the money.
Right. Right.
Always perfect.
Now, from the diagrams, you'll see. I don't understand why this is not pulling up yet. She's had 4 surgeries total. All right, hang on. Let me get to some comments here from Robert while I'm waiting for this to pull up on my desktop. I don't know why it's taking so long. It said, Officer Rice determined he was under the influence. Clear detection of alcohol on breath. Report named Savage having crossed over. Absolute lie. No witness ever stated her vehicle was the offending driver. There was no alcohol detected in Savage, nor did blood draws conclude she was drinking. Shall not drink statute not applied by Andrew Rice. He was drinking at the Mellow Mushroom and Chili's, I believe, and these are restaurants there in Mount Dora.
Yeah, you don't have a couple
It said,
drinks
while
and then move on somewhere else and have a couple drinks and not get, messed up. You have a couple drinks and then you call it a night, not bar hop. If you're not going to be, I don't know, man. That guy was drunk.
Right. Because now listen to this. On the bottom of the police report, it says, while on scene, I went to speak with Kelly in the back of an ambulance. When I arrived at the ambulance, Kelly was on the stretcher where I detected the odor of an alcoholic beverage emanating from his person. Kelly stated he didn't know what happened and could only provide his phone number. It says on the bottom, it says, based on the evidence at the scene to consist of the final rest of the vehicles involved in the debris field left after the point of collision, it appeared that vehicle 1 being operated by Kelly was at fault for the crash. However, the crash report was completed listing the silver SUV being operated by Megan as the at-fault vehicle based on original witness statements. Now go down, if you will, a little bit to the diagram, and we'll see the diagram of where the cars ended up and that sort of thing. All right, wait till it pulls up here on the screen for everybody to check out. I don't know why it takes so long for me to get it on my desktop. Is everybody in the chat seeing the diagram, or
Yeah, we
am I
can
the
see
only
we're,
one left?
we're digesting it. No,
It's about-
take your time
about
because
10 seconds of a lag between what you're seeing on the phone to what you're seeing on the internet is what it should be. If it's more than that, it's something possibly with Wi-Fi or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah, mine's taking a little bit longer.
Yeah, like I'm looking at the stream and it's there now online. So
That's true, Noli D. We're at 400 people killed by police this year. And I know there are more in custody deaths that are going on unaccounted for. That's true. It's like we're getting the numbers, like we get the numbers from China about things. You're going to tell us, there's nothing wrong. Everything's great.
getting some China numbers.
It's the ones they can't cover up that we're getting the numbers for.
Okay, now I can see it up here now. The street there now. In the first, in one of these reports, I'm not sure which one, they have the blue car that's next to Megan. They have it over by the officer and not Megan. All right, we'll look at that other report here in just a minute. Now, on this one here, you see the car cross over. You see it hit. It's like headlight to headlight. And if you read the report, if you go up and you look at the report as far as the main collision area, it lists both of the right front headlights on both cars as the main point of collision. Yeah, Pritchard here is in the blue car. Okay, and that's car number 3. The white car is Kelly, which is the white car coming over the median, and the silver car there is Megan. So in this diagram right here that we're looking at, it's obvious that Kelly's the one that crossed over and hit Megan. Now, when you look at the photos of the accident, well, we'll get into here in just a second. The blue car, which is Pritchard's, or excuse me, the white car, which is Kelly's, it's hit on the driver's side door here, okay, by Pritchard, which is again right next to Megan here. All right, so this is going to be important when you're reading over the report, and the report puts Pritchard's car next to Kelly's and not Megan's. All right, so let's go check out the other report, I believe, and bring up that Google Drive if you would, and let me look at that, because there might be another diagram that's not in the report. Let me look real quick. Is that it right there? Second to the right?
This is the one we just looked at. This was the first one we looked at.
No, second to the right.
This one?
Second
Right
to the
here?
right. That's
sorry.
left. There you go. What's that?
That's that.
Okay, can you make that bigger? Okay, that again is Kelly coming across and hitting Megan, and then getting hit there by Pritchard. So yeah, go back to that first report we looked at. There you go. And then scroll down to, there's a diagram on the bottom of that one as well. Scroll down and let's look at that one. Okay, now in this one, the falsified report, you see they have Megan as the one coming across and hitting Kelly right there, okay? Let's see if that's the one that's... Okay, that's not even up on my screen here yet for my laptop, but that's okay. I can see it here on the phone.
Mr. Wolf.
So basically, you've got Megan coming across here, hitting that right headlight, okay? And if you look from the diagram, how it goes, it shows Pritchard's car still in the right-hand lane, okay? And it doesn't look like there'd be any way that he would be able to hit the driver's side door of Kelly from the way Kelly's car has ended up, which I have no clue how it would end up that way. I mean, if you hit somebody head on like that, they're not going to keep going forward. Both of them are going to, bounce back, as they did with Megan's car here. You can see it hit him and they bounced it back up and to the left, looks like. The back end's kicked up to the left. But Kelly's car, for some reason, is down and kicked to the right, which, doesn't make sense to me. Now, go on up real quick to the narrative part of it, to where we could see who was driving where, to make that a little bit bigger. Okay, it says that again, vehicle 1 was Megan Savage. It drove across the median. Vehicle 2 was Kelly's white Honda, and then the I got you, Robert. And then vehicle 3 was the blue, driven by Pritchett. And in this one, and in this report, it says Pritchett is driving west. Okay, this is where they messed up. Okay, because if you look on the diagram, it shows Pritchard's car by Kelly's car driving east. Okay, but in the report, this is the same report. The diagram's just below it. In the same report, it has him driving west, which would be in the same lane as Megan Savage. So look back down at their report or the diagram again, boss. Okay, so what we should see in this diagram is that blue car up top. Okay, according to the report, it should be up top where the gray silver car is, because the gray car, vehicle 1 and vehicle 3, it says in the report right there, we just read it, was driving the same way. The second car was driving the opposite way, the white car. All right. Also to note, if the blue car was in the west lane and Megan did cross over and hit Kelly in the east lane, then there's no way that Pritchard could have hit Kelly's car, causing the damage. Let's look at some of those photos now, would you? Go back to the Google Drive, and I'll show you the photos to look.
From the wrecker?
No. No.
Scene?
Yeah, from the wrecker, yeah.
The scene or the wrecker?
No, from the wrecker.
Okay. Which car do you want first? Megan's or
Is
Kelly?
there any way you could pull it up so we can look at all the pictures together? Or?
Doesn't appear that way. No, I have to pick one or the other. I have to pick Megan's car or Kelly's car.
Okay, so pick Kelly's car, the white car, and get it to where there's a couple of pictures facing the driver's side, where you can see the driver's side of the car. That's not a good one. There you go. All right, you can see the damage there to the driver's side door on Kelly's car. All right, looks like the airbags are deployed there too on the left-hand side car, front and back. So it's definitely hit on that side. You can see from the damage, the airbags. Now, can you get a picture of the front of the car there? No, the other side, like front on. This is a front on picture.
How about that one?
There you go. So we can obviously see that the damage from Megan and Kelly colliding is done right there on the right-hand side of the car. And when we look at Megan's car, you'll notice that too. And you can see, look at the wheel. This is a pretty bad accident that went down here. Also, Robert wanted me to let you guys know that Pritchard did say that he was following Megan's car, and he was not following Kelly's car. So we can see there it's a bad accident, hit right there on the right-hand side. Now, that's the only collision that happened between Savage and Kelly, okay? So the damage on his driver's side door had to come from Pritchard. And the only way in their police reports that we can make that work, yeah, go see if you can see See if you can see Megan's SUV now. The only way that they could make that work is if the original police report having Megan and Pritchard on the same side and Kelly coming over the median would be able to have that kind of specific damage. Look at her car, dude. It's totaled. I mean, that's totally totaled. Okay. Okay. And now you have Megan, who passed a blood draw, no alcohol. Kelly, who emanated alcohol, who was confirmed to be drinking that night and who never got a blood draw. You got these two people, and again, they're trying to put it off on Megan that she was the one. Now, if I remember correctly, no one, I don't think to this day, Robert, you can message me if I'm wrong, but I don't think anybody to this day has been charged with anything or gotten a ticket or anything. You know, one of the things me and Robert talked about was, you know, even if they didn't do the blood draw and they can't get Kelly for DUI, it's still reckless driving to drive over the median and hit somebody head on. So there was no charges ever put forth, no tickets, I believe, ever issued to either Megan or Kelly. And hold on, Robert says Megan was proved to have left work at the pharmacy at Walgreens west of Leesburg. No citation to date. So yeah, there's not even been a citation issued in this case, one way or another. And I think that the reason for that being is because if these reports ever came to light in the courtroom, I mean, it's pretty obvious, you know, reading both these reports back to back, seeing the diagrams, seeing the damage to the cars, who's to blame. All right. Let's bring up that SAO letter, Eyes.
Yep, hang on 1 second.
Now, this is the, I believe it's the assistant state attorney. Yeah, we can start right there. Give it a second for my my thing to catch up on my desktop so I can see it. Robert says it's Assistant State Attorney Emily Curington and Assistant State Attorney Walter Forgy covered this up. Clearly, the ASA was referred this case. So again, Kelly's a local law enforcement officer here in Lake County.
Shocker.
Right? Still waiting for that to pull up on my laptop. I think I can read it from here. I'll read it from here. It says, Dear Officer Bryce, I have enclosed the CD of Mr. Kelly's medical records obtained pursuant to a subpoena sent to Orlando Regional Medical Center. I did not see where Kelly's blood was tested for the presence of alcohol or controlled substances. This is not unusual. ORMC frequently does not test patients' blood for alcohol or controlled substances, except when they're involved in an accident like this. It's the officer's duty to inform the, nurses, doctors, that they need a blood draw, check for alcohol or substances. I reviewed the information with Division Supervisor Walter Forgy based on the witness statements from the people who had contact with him immediately prior to the crash, indicating he was not impaired. It appears there is insufficient evidence to charge Kelly with DUI. we would be able to prove he consumed alcohol, but not that he was under the influence to the extent his normal facilities were impaired. Please contact me if you need anything further. Now,
What's wrong, Jen?
basically, this so basically, this is a get out of jail card for Rice not doing the blood draw on Kelly. Now, something important to note is, after this went down, a couple of months after, Kelly was arrested for DUI, driving 82 to 45 and deviating lanes. He refused a blood or breathalyzer. Suspended license was his only repercussion. So
Yeah.
this is a pattern from this guy.
Yeah, so Jennifer CA says the American College of Surgeons says all trauma patients are to have ETOH and drug checks.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Especially when they detect alcohol. I mean, if you're standing by someone and you can smell alcohol, chances are, and it's just an accident that just happened, and it says, they're going to have a blood draw and decide if that person has been drinking or not. If you're a normal citizen, that is. But again, there's been a lot of drop balls with this investigation. And as you can see, there's two different police reports. One naming, Kelly as the person who did it, and the other one naming Megan as the person who did it, with the diagram supporting the fact that Kelly was the one that perpetrated the act. Now, again, even though the ASA letter says you can't charge him for DUI, again, it's got to be negligence or reckless driving or something to cross over a median and hit somebody head on like that, causing that much damage, and there's no citation. So this is an issue here, and I want to thank Robert. First of all, he's texted me. I want to thank him for bringing this to my attention, and I want to say that this is something that obviously needs looked further into. We'll definitely be providing the numbers for the Mount Dora Police Department in the comments section. I'll do that probably tomorrow. I'll put the Mount Dora Police Department phone number up in the comments section. I'll put the Lake County District Attorney, State Attorney number up in the comments section.
Lake County Sheriff's involved at all?
No. They
this
kept
was
it.
the police.
Yeah.
The police department where Kelly works took care of all this for him.
Exactly. I don't know if he still worked there at the time. He ended up going to Lady Lake. And Robert says Lake County Sheriff was never contacted, nor was the Florida Highway Patrol. So they handled it all in-house.
I don't think they're
And
allowed.
again,
They were
Right?
probably contacted. They just all had a little off the radio back channel agreement to let them handle their own shit.
I don't think they're allowed to do that, though.
Okay. They're not allowed to do a lot
don't
of
think
shit,
people-
man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Hey,
think
hey,
they're
hey.
allowed to not have an outside party investigate it completely. Like,
Hey, Eyes,
Yeah.
I don't think you're allowed to smoke weed in the state of Florida.
I don't think you're allowed to get within 6 feet of me.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, but I get what he's saying too. It's like Florida Highway Patrol. That has to be like some really like high level shit. Who is this Kelly guy? You know what I mean? Either they have like a really good friend at the local FHP barracks, or they just never called it in and it just never got sent to any other agency. I don't know.
Well, we know the sheriff there in Lake County, Peyton. He's as crooked as the day is long.
Oh yeah,
You know,
they like their haircuts out there.
yeah, he's the one doing the haircuts during the COVID that everybody blew up on about Facebook. That's Lake County, Florida.
And they had their excuse of, hey, we got to stay tactical with our short hair because, you know, you never know if somebody attacks us and grabs our hair. It's like, dude, how many times are you going to get into a tussle with somebody? You know, and maybe, yeah, more than the average person when you're a cop. But how many times are they going to go after your hair? And
Guys,
if it is that tactically sound to have your haircut, why are you going to rub it in everybody's face on Facebook? Idiot.
does anybody have any comments before we wrap it up? Because I'd like to go ahead and kick everybody over to Noli D's Police Accountability Report. We do that every Thursday night now. We kind of
That's piggyback.
Right.
9 p.m., right?
Yep, 9 p.m. And guys, listen, we're going to do another story also from this same gentleman, Robert. It's his sister's case. And his sister was killed in a hit and run accident. And again, it's Lake County, a lot of shady stuff going on. Same assistant state attorney involved. So yeah, this is definitely, we're going to keep on this issue. I definitely, again, am going to put them phone numbers in there for people to call and redress the government, ask them, why are we looking at two reports that a 8-year-old could figure out was doctored, and see what they have to say for themselves. Is there any questions in the comments before we kick out of here?
Let's get a link up for that other channel.
Jennifer says, where's the run reports for helicopter and etc.? I don't know if they've got those. I haven't seen them.
Is it on Police Accountability Report? Is that where we're going?
It is News Now or something, or Real News Now or something like that's the website.
Gotcha.
And Eyes on the State writes, Crispy Roberts wanting to get in touch with you, so I'm going to get you guys in touch with each other.
Yep, certainly. I'm good with that.
We'll do Hillbilly Patriot. We'll keep this story going.
Robert, I don't know. I don't know if you could see the comments, Robert, but Jennifer says that she knows the trauma people at Orlando. So she's saying the flight record would help, and so would EMT reports would be good. So let's see if we can pull those and maybe do an update on this story here. All right, guys. We got the link up in the chat.
Is that the right link, though?
I'm not sure. I don't want to. I'll click it here on my desktop since I'm not.
Okay, there's another one here. I see it now. It's at the Real News Network. And here we go. I'll put it in the...
That's what it is, Real News Network.
Here we go, folks. This is the correct link.
Still waiting for it to come up. But all right, guys, thanks for coming. See you next time. Hopefully see you over there on the police accountability report. And we'll talk to you guys on Saturday. We got a show on Saturday, so we'll be up in at 9. Not sure what the topic's going to be yet, but we'll think of something.
We sure will. All right. Have a good evening, everybody.
Yep.